What's up, YouTube? Alright, so I know we're hitting that. Well, technically, we're hitting the, I don't know, 6 month, 7th month, whatever life cycle of both consoles, the Xbox Series X and the PS5. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I got the Xbox first. Not like physically got it first, but I was able to to um order it online first. So that was the 26th of November, and then the PS5 was 2 days later. After that, I was able to secure one online as well. Two different places, two different websites. Xbox was Best Buy, and PlayStation 5 was Walmart. So I just waited and picked them up the same day. But I've seen everyone on YouTube do their 6 month review on it. It's to see how it's been performing, see where it's at now, see if they're still putting in the same amount of time that they put in the beginning. So here's mine. This is going to be primarily focused on Xbox. PS5, I'll throw some low blows here and there, not because I'm a fanboy, but just because there's a lot more to cover on Xbox within the last 6 months that it has been on the ground floor. So with Xbox, hands down, beautiful. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a beautiful, seamless login when it came to turning it on and connecting. Okay, if you have a smart device and you have Xbox app and the Xbox Game Pass app on your phone, all it was just a damn. It pops up a QR code on your TV. Boom, scan it. You're logged in. Simple as that. Okay, and with the Xbox and the Game Pass app, you can, because remember, the Xbox, even in this generation, the Xbox still doesn't have what PlayStation has, which is a shutdown mode and a rest mode. No, Xbox, since last generation, has always been like a PC. Okay, even if you press the power button and it turns off, 9 times out of 10, it's not actually off. As long as you don't plug it, it's never off. That's why sometimes you'll hear like random noises in the background when it's not being used. It's running updates for games that have random updates so that when you log in, and it's running other updates as well, system updates and all that stuff. And with the quick resume option, it's also keeping those games in suspension mode. So it's never really off. For you to truly shut it down, shut it off, I think there's two ways, but the one that I'm familiar with is someone showed on YouTube that you can go into the settings, the power option, and actually shut it off, like completely shut it down, close everything from there. But I love it. I trust it. Okay, this is the console that I would actually trust leaving a disc in, because it's just like a PC. Okay, everything's in suspension mode. If an update is available, it'll kickstart it real quick, but it'll never turn back on unless you tell it to turn on. So when it comes to turning it on and picking a random game, like, hey, I'm into Assassin's Creed right now, or I'm into Apex or whatever, Titanfall, I don't have to worry about, oh, I have to update it first. No, 9 times out of 10, it's probably already updated that stuff because it was never truly shut down. With the PlayStation, no. When you shut that baby down, it's shut down, okay? And if you press rest mode, which is a very big gamble with this generation of console, you press rest mode, it's gonna be in rest mode, but you're probably gonna have to restart it when you turn that baby back on, because rest mode is not dependable. Like I said, it is a gamble, especially with this generation. I think I was a little more comfortable toward the end cycle of PS4, specifically with the PS4 Pro, that I started really using rest mode and taking advantage of it, because that's when I truly trusted it. Okay, the PS5 is still in that time period where things are still finicky, software is not 100%, it's not reliable, it's not guaranteed. So Xbox has it in the bag with that one. Uh, just taking a minute, just the body alone. First off, the design, the body, the material, the texture is good. You know, as long as your thing is as is, like you're not moving it, you're not that person to grab it, take it upstairs, grab it, take it to the basement, grab it, put it in the living room, grab it, put it in a bedroom. As long as you picked a specific spot for it to camp, well, not camp, but literally make home, and it's not moved, and the only time it's touched is when you're pushing the power button, then it shouldn't have any scratches, scuff marks, fingerprints. I mean, you really can't. It's really hard to fingerprint that thing. Like, you may see it right there, and then it'll just slowly fade because it has a nice, beautiful matte finish. Okay, I believe all hardware should have a matte finish. Okay, especially phones. Who wants that glossy background on a phone? That's why I have matte cases, because I don't want any fingerprints, grease, all that stuff to show on the thing, and scuff marks. Just give everything a matte finish, okay? The PlayStation 5, those side panels, yes, that has a nice white matte finish. It's white though, so like I said, if you're that person that's traveling with your console, that ain't gonna stay white for very long, especially if you're not using the most cautious, most professional traveling and packaging utilities. That's not going to be pristine white at all. And then I don't know, for some reason, and there are alternatives for this, third party obviously, but there are alternatives for this. Don't know why they went back to the glossy, sensitive, your mama's breath making it scratch gloss finish. Hated it. First off, I feel bad for the people that got the glossy PS3s, because I sure as heck didn't. I got that nice matte finish black that just said PS3 on it, and I was good with that. Okay, the PS4, yeah, it had that stupid glossy panel, but later on they did give you an option that you had to purchase separately, an option to buy a replaceable panel that had the same matte finish as the rest of the PS4. And then when the Slim came out, they went all matte, and I was thumbs up for it. And then the Pro just had an extra layer and it was still all matte. The only thing that's really technically gloss, still has the gloss finish, is just in between the layers. But you know, you really can't focus in on that unless you're like right in the midst of it, and you're not going to be able, especially where I have my PS4 Pro. It's in my entertainment center. My entertainment center is matte black as well, so everything just looks like it's blended in. The only time you can actually see it is if the power light is turned on. Same thing with the Xbox One X. So that's that. The controllers still feel good. I really don't use the stock controller, because my wife got me the Elite 2, which is the best accessory you can have with any Xbox, really, whether it's the Xbox One or the Series X, the Series S, or if you use it for mobile play when it comes to the xCloud. I mean, or PC. It's really the go-to thing, especially with the beautiful traveling case, with the removable charging dock. It's a magnetic charging dock. and the little accessories in it. You've already seen that, you know. There's plenty of YouTube videos that really dissect into the thing, and there's people that are bold enough to even dissect the controller and take it apart. I'm not doing that. I know the Series 1 controller is kind of easy to take apart because it's has the design from the Mark 1 controller. So it's a lot of just it's screws keeping it together. But this bad boy right here is mostly adhesive and clips. So I am not doing that. Even if something like terribly happens to it, I'll just look into the warranty. If there's no warranty, guess what? Homeboy just gonna have to cash in some reward points and get me a new controller. And I can't wait. Like I said, I have a prediction where if it's not this holiday, it'll be next holiday or next fall, where they'll probably be releasing Mark III or a Series 3 for the Elite controller, and that one's going to be based off of the stock model for the next gen, for this gen controller, and it probably have the button in there. So it's crazy how they implemented this button from the button they put in the Series 2 controller. This one is just to change your saved profiles for different button mapping, and this one it's the designated button for capturing video and pictures. So I would like to see how the design is going to go for the Mark III, and there probably is going to be Mark III, because come on, they even surprised us this year by, what was it, like 2 months later? They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna release a wireless headset, which I do have right here. Wireless headset. I already made a video about an unboxing and a review. Pretty nifty and pretty it does a lot of multitasking, just like the console does, just like your Windows computer does. So when it comes to connecting to different devices, truly is a Bluetooth headset and not just a gaming headset or an Xbox headset. So you know that is already hands down. But you know, but that's something that's sold separately from the console. But it is good for the console. It's good for your Xbox One, any of the Xbox Ones. It is good for your phone, your smartphone, and it is good for PC. And like I said, the multitasking thing, because my nephew doesn't have a headset and he doesn't have an Xbox, so he'll usually play on PC or PlayStation, and he'll usually just call me on the phone. So I'll just have my phone sitting on the side charging, and I'll connect my phone to my Xbox headset, and we'll play a little Fortnite. I'll play on Xbox so that I can have him in my chat, but no one else can hear him, just me. So it is pretty cool, and that pretty is intuitive and a useful feature since I've been using it for that. Or if like something's going on, like with Outriders on the Game Pass, there's something wrong with the chat where it wasn't working for that specific game, so we just ended up doing the phone, the three-way on phone or something. So that's pretty good. The games, I mean, there's not much I can say about the games. I know E3, they've shown off some, not all, some exclusives that they'll be coming out, and every exclusive is going to be available day one on Game Pass. Okay, they are just up and down with Game Pass. They are literally anything. There's not anything with Xbox that isn't Game Pass related or in the Game Pass, around Game Pass. And I've known to love and always have Game Pass. So that is definitely a plus on that. And with my, well, not my method, but with the method that I shared before in one of my later videos, is that if you have Xbox Live already and you just get that 1 month subscription of Game Pass, it'll merge the two. So technically, if you had a year, 12 months of Live, and then you put the 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate onto the thing, it'll merge the two and make it into 13 months of Game Pass Ultimate. Okay, hopefully you guys are not making the mistake of investing in the year-long things of Game Pass, or like getting The 3 months. Are you serious? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. My computer literally just turns off. My computer literally just freaking turns off when yeah, when I'm in the middle of recording a video. That's great. That's real professional. So yeah, hopefully you guys aren't doing that because it is a price difference. Okay, if you do it the first way, you're only spending $75 a year for like I said, 13 months of Game Pass Ultimate. If you are doing it the other way, okay, I call it the lazy way or the ignorant way, and literally getting a year's worth of the Game Pass Ultimate passes, you're spending. I did the math earlier. I think you're spending like, because remember it's 15. Let me do the math right now. Remember, you do 75 with the first method, and then what is it? 15 times. Oh yeah, because remember it's $15 a month. So if you do it the first way, you're only spending $75 a year. And if you're doing it the other way, which is $15 a month, you're spending $180. $180. Don't do it that way. Do it the other way. Okay? Xbox is well aware of the first method and they have not patched it. They have not done anything about it. They haven't reversed it or nothing. Okay? Because remember, Xbox is pro consumer this generation and last generation, the end of last generation. Okay, PlayStation doesn't give a rat's ass about you, the consumer, or you, the fanboys, at all. Okay, but again, back to the games and Game Pass. It's 100. It's like 150 plus games on Game Pass, and then you can be sure that the exclusives from now on, their exclusives, are going to be day one on the Xbox Game Pass. And there's like little third party developers that they might drop a quick check to, like Outriders, and they'll be available day one on the Game Pass. But rest assured that when it comes to their exclusives, they will be available on Game Pass day one, and they will most likely stay on the Game Pass. Usually the games that get recycled, removed, and replaced and all that stuff are the third-party games on the Game Pass. But when it comes to the exclusives, they're there to stay. They're there to make home. And I think eventually, once we get like to the hundreds of exclusive games, I don't know, maybe they'll start recycling or maybe they'll just keep them there. But since people are complaining about Xbox not having exclusives, they're on their way to working on it. Okay, they're way on their way to having more exclusives than what the PlayStation or the PS5 is having. And just because the game is playable on PC does not make it a non-exclusive. Okay, it's still done by Microsoft Studios. They still have the rights to it, and they can still do whatever the hell they want to it. Same thing when it comes to PlayStation, because now PlayStation has its share of games that are on PC as well. So, and I don't know if they're going to do Horizon, the Part 2. I don't know if they're going to do it on PC as well. But from that, we already talked about the body, just the body alone being perfect, and lasting 6 months without any craziness, no damage, no scratches from the air like the PS5 and all that stuff. I'm just sorry. I'm finicky about that stuff, especially when you see how big the PS5 is. Like, come on, okay? You can't not notice a big ass scratch just coming down the thing. The scratches aren't black either. The scratches are white, okay, and they reflect off the light and everything. So it just makes you want to play the thing in the dark. Just put a paper bag over it and be like, okay, I'm gonna go play with it now. So, and EA Play being available on Game Pass, now you're just showing off. But to be honest, The EA games are alright, but to be honest, if they had the Ubisoft Pass on there, I'm more of a fan of the Ubisoft games. Ubisoft. I keep saying Ubisoft. If it's Ubisoft or Ubisoft, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going with Ubisoft. But if they had the Ubisoft Play Pass or whatever it's called, um, yeah, I'd be more invested into that. That would be I'm sold indefinitely. But EA Play is a start, and who knows? Maybe in the future, maybe they will include the passes because now all these studios are having their coming up with their own passes, except for PlayStation. But there was a big move for Game Pass to be like, you know what, we're gonna include EA Play, and that's what I keep trying to tell my brother-in-law. I'm like, dude, you should have asked for an Xbox and not a PlayStation. We got him a PlayStation one Christmas ago, but I was like, dude, you should have got an Xbox. Especially with Xbox Game Pass, you would have well, not all the Maddens, but you would definitely have the newest one. You would have the newest Madden, the newest 2K, NBA, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So because he's the one that likes to play sports games, okay? Me, Ubisoft has my type of games when it comes to the Assassin's Creed games, the Watchdog games, and now Immortal Phoenix Rising. I actually love that game. I know I've been giving it a break because I've been trying to give each console in my house or each platform in my house some playtime, but definitely going to be going back to Immortal Phoenix Rising. And so far, I've gotten, when it comes to the next gen Ubisoft games, I've been getting them for Xbox. And to be honest, the only non exclusive PlayStation game that I usually always get for PlayStation is the Call of Duty games. But I don't know, that might change. So, what else am I missing? There was an article that I read where they were talking about the comparison of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, especially today, marking its 6-month life cycle. One of the things that they said that I like to point out is the Series X delivers on its promises of variable refresh rates and broader support for gaming at 120 FPS, and it also has something that the PS5 doesn't: expandable storage. The Series X supports gaming on an expansion card, while the PS5 only recently allowed players to store games on the external SSD, but not able to play them. So thank you. That just reminded me about the next thing. I have not purchased the expandable card. Two reasons. Number one, man, expensive as hell. I was actually looking at Target online. They were having a sale for gaming related stuff like games, accessories, all that. So I actually looked on a thing and I scrolled down and I saw the expansion card and I was like, oh shoot, are they doing like 15%, 10%? Dude, it's not even on sale. I'm like, why is it on the list? It's still at $219, and I'm like, for 200 solid, maybe. But I should have purchased it. I didn't purchase it when it was first put on the market because I didn't know when I was going to be able to get the next gen console. Matter of fact, I didn't even think I was going to get the next gen console, so I was very skeptical. And I should have got it because Target was one of the places where it was on sale for pre-order, and it was like 175 or 185. That's definitely cheaper than 220. And here's my thing. I know it's got the same power as the built-in custom SSD, but come on, 219. First of all, that's a weird number. Let's be honest. And I know I can use my reward points and get a gift card and make it cheaper and all that stuff, but 219 for 1 terabyte. If it was 2 terabytes, I wouldn't question it, but it's 1 terabyte. And I thought there was going to be more options. I know they're giving us an option period that PS5 isn't giving you, but I feel like I'm going to wait until there's a 2 terabyte option. Because let's be honest, I have at least I want to say at least 12 games on the external storage. Haven't had to delete anything. The only thing that I've deleted is like games that I've never played before on Game Pass. I'll download them real quick, try them out, and if I don't like it, you're getting cut. So that's it. But I have like 12 games on there, and there's a mixture of disc games and digital games. And I only keep the games that have the XS update, I keep on the internal. Everything else I keep on an external SSD, because if you don't have the next gen update, why am I gonna take up the internal space? I know that the hardware still pushes old gen games to the max and upscales it and does super sampling and all that stuff. But until I get more space with that same performance, I just want to keep the next gen games on there. Like I said, I have a Samsung SSD that I keep the other games that I still give attention, but that don't have that next gen update. So I'm still able to have that nice SSD speed and performance. But yeah, I'm able to fit 12 games that I play on a regular that have the next gen update on the internal. Okay, ask me how many games I can fit on the internal when it comes to the PS5. I think maybe five, maybe six, 5 or 6. Okay, and that's the ones that have next gen updates, 5 or 6. Okay, I just deleted the Spider-Man remastered. So the Spider-Man remaster I deleted because I platinumed it. If I platinum a game, you no longer serve a purpose in my inventory. There's nothing else to do. I just platinumed you. Unless you're a multiplayer game, there's no reason for me to have you. Just like Division 1. Division 1, I finally platinumed that game. Boom. Just frame it or something, okay? But it's not being played again by me, especially when there's a part 2 out that I got to platinum. When it comes to platinum games, you don't need to take up any of my storage. You don't need to take up any of my shelf space, okay? You're retired. I'm giving you away to a lucky niece or nephew that has a console. But I think, yeah, I think 6 is high. I think I'm at like 4 or 5 next gen games that fit on my console. Because remember, you know how big Call of Duty games are. You know. Don't act like you don't know. You know how big Call of Duty games are. It's ridiculous. Okay? And I have both Cold War and Modern Warfare. Okay? And then Modern Warfare, even if you don't have Modern Warfare and you have Warzone, Warzone is still the same freaking big ass size. For what? It's just Warzone. There's nothing, there's no campaign, there's no Spec Ops. It's just Warzone. It's ridiculous, the size of these Call of Duty games. But whatever. We're not going to get into that. That was just making a quick comparison. But yeah, I haven't gotten the storage chip card thing at all. Haven't gotten it, haven't used it. My brother-in-law has it. He says it works great. Says it's beautiful. It's super easy to use, and you just pop the thing in there. And they did say that third party, they're working with other third party companies that, because I know people are like, well, the PS5 has an NVMe slot, blah blah blah, expandable slot and all that stuff, but can you use it? Can you use it? Because that thing is still in standby mode. Okay, and if you do open it and put an NVMe SSD in there, guess what? That PS5 is gonna be like, I'm not turning on. Nope. I'm stuck in whatever mode they call. I'm stuck in what you call it. Stuck in recess mode or something. Just I'm in suspension mode. You can't even play the games you did have on the internal. It just gives you this weird screen where it's like, oh, I fucked up. Okay, with the Xbox, at least you can, and you can still keep it clean too by plugging in other SSDs via USB. that have somewhat of the same specs, and they gave you an expansion card slot. That's really the expansion card. The price, I know I'm going crazy on the price. That's because I'm a big cheapo, but let's be honest, it's a pretty good price compared to other next gen SSDs, especially 1 terabyte. Okay, there's some crazy prices out there. So, I'm not knocking on the price. I'm just saying, look, until y'all get a 2 terabyte or until that $219 comes down a little bit, I won't be making that purchase anytime soon. I'm going to save that $200 in my pocket for whenever my Xbox Game Pass Ultimate membership needs to be renewed, and in case there's a game that comes out that doesn't come out on Game Pass. And that's another point for me. Xbox Game Pass has definitely... Come on, man. Come on. What are you doing? And then you take forever to I literally have to touch the thing. I've only been talking for 30 minutes now. And my PC just... Oh, you're not using this. That's another thing. Game Pass Ultimate has definitely... You invest $75 for the year, and you pretty much save more than that when it comes to money investing in games for that year. Okay, like I said, the only games that I purchased for the Xbox is Ubisoft games. That's it. I haven't thought about buying an Xbox game at all because why do I need to? They're all there on Game Pass. When it comes to the exclusives, they're all there on Game Pass. When it comes to little third-party games, they might be there on Game Pass, they might not be. But even then, I've been saving money not purchasing games. Okay, you want to see my closet? You want to know how many games, how much money I would spend on games when it came to the Xbox One and the PS4? Okay, they're like this. The shelf space is like this width, and it's filled. And now I have to stack the games up on top like this. So now I got this and this. I'm about to make a damn cross with these games. Okay, Angel Cross, get it? Okay, bad joke. But, with the Xbox, I know that I'm going to be saving tons of storage space, physical storage space, when it comes to the Game Pass. Okay, and to be honest, I wasn't all that for digital games, but when it comes to them being on Game Pass and being available to download, and with the download speed being even faster, I like it. Let's be honest. When we were introduced to downloading games that we physically have, yeah, it was kind of a downer. But when you see the games and the storage space that they need, and how big the open world games are, and the details and the updates and the DLCs and all that stuff, it makes sense. But if you're gonna have to download a physical game, just get the digital game. So Xbox Game Pass has definitely made me, a pro consumer when it comes to digital content. So it definitely saves up my physical storage space, and it just makes, with quick resume, it just makes it even more better, because I can literally have the games in suspension mode, offline games, not online games, but have my single player games on suspension mode and just quickly resume wherever I left off into playing them, and just click in, click out of whatever game and have no problems. Okay, in the beginning there was some little problems, but I'm pretty sure over the 6 months they've done some updates. So I'm gonna touch the mouse real quick so it doesn't fall asleep. I don't know how long I'm gonna be talking for, but yeah, when I do buy the expansion card, when I do cave in, I will let you guys know. But where I was getting at is they did confirm that they're working with third-party companies that'll be making adapters that fit that slot, so that it still has the same capability and the same connection. So it won't be connected via USB, but they'll make adapters for the slot so that you can purchase an NVMe SSD, and you just have to buy an adapter that it'll fit the thing. there's a whole article about it, and I'm not going to get into it because half the stuff I don't understand. But there are there's room for improvement, and there's room for the affordable side for the future. Okay, remember, we're only 6 months into this generation. Okay, just what, 5.5 more years to go? Because isn't that usually the life cycle between next gen is 6 years? Okay, we're in the beginning, and I know it's slow because of the pandemic, and I know it's slow because we really don't have that many next gen games. Like when I say next gen, I'm talking about like mind blowing games that actually use 110% of the hardware and software that is embedded for next gen that makes it next gen. But like I said, we're only 6 months in. Xbox has tons of plans. They're literally going through the damn next gen handbook, and they're going through it. They probably got PS5s in their workstation right now and making a pro and cons list, and literally, okay, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, we're going to improve on this, blah blah blah. Because one of the things that I didn't like that I liked about the PS5 is that with the PS5, whatever PS4 games you were going to download automatically went to external. You didn't have to worry about them going to the internal, taking up space in the internal. There was actually a setting in there that said, hey, do you want to, for future reference, only download PS4 games for the external? I was like, yes, sir. So only recently did Xbox do an update where finally it gives you an option. It'll tell you, hey, where you want to download this. With the next gen games, it won't tell you that. It'll be like, obviously it's going on the internal because you can't play them on the external. But when it comes to the old gen games, it'll be like, hey, where would you like this? And just boop, just click which one. Because I have, like I said, the internal drive on the Xbox, and I have two external drives. I have a big 8 terabyte one that's a regular HDD drive, and then I have a small 500 gigabyte Samsung SSD that I use to play the games that I regularly play that aren't next gen. Still good speed, still good performance, but I just use it for the non-next gen games. PS5, I only have the same 8 terabyte HDD for my old PS4 games, and obviously there's no other option when it comes to increasing the internal internal SSD. So it's been 6 months, PlayStation. When are you going to make the announcement? Because you haven't even given us a release date on that slot. Literally losing my voice over here because I just keep repeating the same thing. When are you going to release it? When are you going to release it? Okay. You guys put it in there, and you guys made it like it was a flex. Like, hey, you got to buy a special memory card for your Xbox to expand it. But guess what? We got a slot that'll fit whatever NVMe slot SSD that you need. And we're just like, okay, can we use the day one? No, you can't use the day one. You gotta wait. We're still working out the bugs. Oh, okay. Well, with the Xbox, can we use that one day one? Oh yeah, definitely. It's in the store right now. It was actually in the store for pre-order, just like before the console came out. So there's that. But when it comes to both consoles, I haven't had any problems. I haven't run into any bugs, software wise. I haven't nothing. That what you call it? I feel like it's just the Call of Duty games when it comes to PS5. The Call of Duty games run hot. And what I mean is when you're using a disc and you pop that disc out, it feels like a hot pocket in your hand. So I don't know what's up with that. I've never had what you call run hot on that. Both systems at the beginning did vent out a lot of hot air, and that's because they're what you call it being used for the first time. But that eventually does, you know, it does. You do get used to it. You either get used to it or it doesn't run as hot as it used to be. So it's kind of like turning on an engine for the first time in 6 months. But like I said, they don't run hot anymore like that. I don't know if it's just because it's summertime and I got the AC running, or they're just like they're in tune, so they're not going to be running hot. And I'm touching the mouse again so it doesn't fall asleep on me. Xbox. Another point. This is the last point I'll make, and then I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it off because I'm already reaching 40 minutes. The last point that I have when it comes to the Xbox is the Xbox hardware is used not just for the next gen titles, but it's used for a lot of the old gen titles. There have been plenty of updates, and they keep giving us more and more updates where there's a lot of games that are being upscaled, a lot of games being super sampled, a lot of games that are doubled in FPS. So if they were 30, they're 60. If they were 60, they're 120. So the Xbox is definitely not just a next gen console for next gen games, but it is a next gen console for old gen games. Okay, it is definitely future proof, and there's a lot more plans that Xbox has that we are not ready for. Okay, a lot of plans are going to be free. A lot of plans, well, all the updates are going to be free, but I'm just saying a lot of plans are going to be pro consumer. Okay, the only plans that are coming soon that'll break the bank, and I'll cover it in another video. I did say one of my, well, not my predictions, but with Xbox surprising us with the wireless headset, and with EA Play being added to the Game Pass, and with a lot more games coming day one on the Game Pass, I was like, come on, Xbox, you're Microsoft. That means you have PCs. That means you have laptops. That means you have monitors and displays. Now, I don't expect PlayStation to do that, because when they released the stupid 3D display for the PS3, that was just never got it, never needed to, don't need to experience it to regret it. But where are the displays at, my guy? And they finally released a video. Well, I don't think there was finally an interview where there was IGN covered that they will be doing displays with third-party companies. So I believe it was Asus, Acer, Asus, Acer, and Philips, I believe. And this actually is the Philips one. And they're working on 3 monitors this holiday that'll be perfectly compatible for the Xbox Series X, meaning they use every freaking pro, every bit of software and next gen experience that the Xbox has to offer. The monitors will support it. But here's my thing. They're third-party companies, but they will break the freaking bank. They already gave us estimates of prices. First off, this is a monitor, right? This is a monitor, and this is a picture. This is a picture of a monitor. This is the Philips monitor. Guess what size it is? It is 55 inches. That's not a monitor. That's a freaking home theater TV. 55 inches. And we already know in the gaming community, when it comes to larger monitors, larger prices. So this is going to range from around 1,500. Yeah, 1,500. And I think the Asus is going to be 48 inches, and that's going to range around 1,200. And then the Acer, which is the more budget friendly, the Acer is going to be 28 inches, which is a standard monitor. This LG monitor that I have is 28 inches. That's going to be $950. So yeah, don't waste your buck. Don't break your bank. Don't freaking kill your wallet when these things come out. Okay, they're obviously doing what Sony did last gen when it came to the Pro controllers. When they experimented with other third parties and all that stuff, and then later on, when no one liked those third-party controllers, they came up with an attachment, a paddle attachment. Sony, let me know when you come with a Pro controller for the DualSense. That's all I want to know. When you come up with it, not when third parties come up with it. Okay, so this is going to be a little experiment with Microsoft, and then probably later down next year, next holiday, they'll come up with their display, their monitor, and it'll be budget friendly, just like their headset was budget friendly. Okay, remember they had this headset, and then there was another headset that some third party did, and that was a $500 headset. $500 headset. Okay? It's ridiculous. But that's it. That is it for I've been talking for 45 minutes. My computer is going to fall asleep on me again if I don't shake this mouse. But that's my thoughts, my review on the 6-month life cycle of the Xbox. If you guys want me to do a PS5 one, I will. It won't be 40 minutes because there's not a lot to talk about. If you guys wanted me to touch base on the article with the 3 future monitors for next gen, I'll do a video on that. If you guys want me to do a video showing all the games on Game Pass when it comes to PC and console, I will do that as well. Like I said, I'm very particular when it comes to bringing out content. Okay, not particular like making content that everyone likes and all that stuff. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you don't like me. If you don't like me, then unfollow. If you're following me, then you must like me. But thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for viewing. Make sure you smash that like button and click the bell for notifications. God, that's the first time I said that. I don't like it. But thank you for watching for 45 minutes. Okay? I usually don't make videos this long unless they're stream videos, live streams. But thank you. Oh, and another thing, I will make a video for people that use XSplit that have a backdrop, whether it's blue, green, or red, and you're having troubles, the same troubles that I had. I mean, this still isn't perfect because look, my hair is blurry up top for some reason. I had to put a nice soft white blanket on my chair because my chair is black and it was like there was no definition to the chair. The outline was very whatever, and I still have this green glow even though I have a green background. But if I didn't have a green background, I would have a green glow around my, it's what's called, it's not you, it's XSplit. XSplit has a very shitty and outdated chroma key software. I do not have this problem with any other software, not even with Gamecaster, and that's from XSplit. But I will make a tutorial video on that if you guys need help to adjusting your chroma key settings on XSplit to the best that you can and working with your environment. Because right now I have 3 bright ass lights that I'm working with, and it's not the lighting, it's the software. So if you guys want to make a video on that, I will. Thank you for watching. Thank you for wasting 47 minutes of your time watching this video or just skimming through like I do with everyone else's video. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.